Once again, it's our pleasure to invite you to join us for 30 minutes of Christmas music, performed by outstanding artists from the Ball State University School of Music. So take some time out from a very busy, hectic holiday schedule, relax and enjoy the next 30 minutes.
The stars are brightly shining. It is the night of the dear Saviour's birth. Long lay the world in sin and error pining, till he appeared and the soul felt its worth. A thrill of hope, the weary world rejoices, for yonder breaks a new and glorious morn. Fall on your knees, oh, hear the angel voices on night divine, on night when Christ was born, on night divine, on night led by the light of stars so sweetly beaming, with glowing hearts by his cradle we stand. Thus led by light of stars serenely gleaming, here came the wise men from the Orient land. The King of Kings lay thus in lowly manger, for all our trials born to be our friend. Christ is the Lord, the hope of every nation, his power and glory evermore proclaim. His power and glory evermore proclaim.
3 kings from Persian lands afar, to Jordan follow the pointing star, and this the quest of the travellers 3, where the newborn king of the Jews may be. For royal gifts they bear for the king, gold, incense, myrrh are their offering. The star shines out with a steadfast ray. The kings to Bethlehem make the way, and there in worship they bend the knee, as Mary's child in her lap they see. Their royal gifts they show to the king, gold, incense, myrrh are their offering. Thou child of man, lo to Bethlehem, the kings are traveling, travel with them. The star of mercy, the star of grace, shall lead thy heart to its resting place. Gold, incense, myrrh thou canst not bring, offer thy heart to the infant King. Offer thy heart. Bring a torch, Janet, Isabella, bring a torch, come swiftly and run. Christ is born, tell the folk of the village, Jesus is sleeping in his cradle. Oh, oh, beautiful is the mother. Oh, beautiful is her son. Hasten now, good folk of the village, hasten now the Christ child to see. You will find him asleep in a manger. Quietly come and whisper softly, hush, hush, peacefully now he slumbers. Hush, hush, peacefully now he sleeps. This day to you is born a child of very meek, the Virgin mild, that blessed Ben, so loving and kind, shall now rejoice, of heart and mind.
Well, I know some of the stories you've told me about, but I don't know them all. I think it would be impossible to know all the stories of Christmas time. But among the stories I tell, I continue really to be fascinated by this old King Herod. Because by and large, I really don't go in much for wicked people. Now, Herod had to be one of the most wicked, the meanest, one of the worst people I've ever heard about. When he had learned that this little baby, Jesus, had been born, or when he had heard that there was going to be a new leader in his land, he immediately had something of a fit. He just acted like a wild man. And he said, I don't know how to find him. There is no way to find him. So the only thing I can possibly do is to kill every little baby in the kingdom. Now, when you stop to think about a man who would say something like that, you have to come to the conclusion that he must have been a madman. And he had to have run through his castle day and night saying, have you killed them all? Have you killed them all? Well, we also know that back in that little town of Bethlehem, there had been a special baby that had been born. And we also know that somehow or other this special baby has to be carried away by its parents so that it becomes a fugitive. It becomes a quick getaway. And we know that according to one legend, at any rate, according to this legend, Joseph has a cousin down in Egypt. And Joseph is going to take Mary and the little baby down into Egypt and is going to stay there until it's safe to come back. Now, one terrible experience happens when they are a little south of Bethlehem. There they are in a woodland, and they're ready to make a quick getaway. But then, when they stop momentarily, they hear the horses behind them. And then looking over the hillside, Joseph discovers that it's Herod's army, a large band of horsemen that are coming upon them. What are they going to do? Well, immediately, Joseph places Mary inside a hollow tree. And Mary with her baby stands there. And Joseph says, I will go on to my cousins, but see to it that you get down there safely. Quickly, hide. And so that's what happens. But there was a miracle that was performed along about this time. Very quickly, no sooner had Mary and the baby stepped into the hollow tree than the spiders of the woodland came upon that tree, and they started spinning webs back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, miraculously covering up that opening in the hollow tree. And when the soldiers came by, they noticed there a very natural tree. After the soldiers had passed on, Joseph and his cousin returned, and Mary was released from the tree, put upon a horse, and they went down to Egypt to spend their time until it was safe to return. Now that is a miracle that we really can't read about in the New Testament. But we also know that with that miraculous family, that all kinds of miracles could happen. Now whether or not that particular miracle happened, I doubt if any one of us shall ever live long enough to find out.
Thank you for joining us on our special Christmas programs from Ball State University. May we wish you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year from the faculty, staff, and students at Ball State University.